All right, hey everyone. Hey, I wanted to make a video mainly about fernieboy100, fernieboy100, and he was or is YouTube's most popular geocentrist. Matter of fact, I think I first heard about geocentricity from the YouTuber that goes by the name of fernieboy100, and his channel's now been terminated, right? Due to they claim copyright infringement. He had several 100,000 views, maybe millions. I know one of his videos had over 400,000 views. So I'm very disturbed that his channel is down. I don't know if he has a backup channel. If anybody knows about a backup channel that fernieboy100 had, please let me know. I just considered him a real good guy, and I know he took a lot of heat for his position on geocentricity, and I feel like a little bit grateful and indebted to him for bringing this topic up. If he hadn't made a stand, I would have never looked into it, investigated it the way I have been doing, and so I was just disturbed. And my own channel gets copyright strike. They claim in the thing that in the YouTube terms of service that if you get a strike, it'll expire in 6 months. That's my understanding. And if you take a copyright school program, which I have done multiple times, they'll get rid of it, and your account will go back in good standing, and you can upload more than 15 minutes. But that hasn't happened to me, and my latest strike is over a year old, and it still hasn't expired. So YouTube, if I was the type of individual that was a whiner, right, I got a lot of things to whine about. I got Secret Service came and visited me. The IRS sent me a tax bill for $25,000. Immigration's Customs Enforcement sent me a random citizenship audit to my HR department at a company that I had been employed with for over 13 years, and said if Rudy doesn't show his birth certificate, fire him. And then they sent a Secret Service visit to my pastor, right? And they won't let my YouTube channel ever get good standing, which means it can never be promoted. And it's like, okay, I'll just do the best I can, but YouTube is a bunch of sorry bastards sometimes, right? I don't know why they shut fernieboy100 down. I mean, he had a great channel. He was getting out a great message. Okay, so I want to share some other things with you guys regarding circles of truth. And I want to make this fairly quick, but I want to just paint a picture, right? In my line of work, there are those that are specialists, right? Let's say they specialize in security. You talk to them about security issues, they'll talk to you all day long. You bring up a topic that don't have anything to do with security, they don't want to talk to you. It's like they're compartmentalized in their little area of expertise. And they don't cross other areas of expertise. They think somebody else has got that. And so for me, I've always been leaning towards a generalist. I try to specialize. I try to go as deep as I can. And I do enjoy going deep on a particular topic. But at the same time, I have a desire to see the bigger picture. And there are those of us, I know that there are, that do see the bigger picture. And I wanted to bring up some different topics. And this is not a comprehensive list. It's just something I did 30 seconds before I made this video, but I wanted you to get the picture. Let's bring up the topic of King James onlyism, okay? You think, well, who are the players in King James onlyism? Peter Sturgis Ruckman? Peter Sturgis, ain't nobody who's done more about King James onlyism than Peter Sturgis Ruckman. You should see the library I got with his material, both video, audio, and books. It's one of these days I need to make a video, and I did that one time, but I've got a lot more since then. It would fill this whole desk up, fill this whole side of the room up. I could pan the video, and it would just be nothing but his material. You got Gail Ripplinger, you got David Daniels, you got William P. Grady, you got Doug Stauffer. I think he runs a website called BibleDoug.com. You got Ken Hovind, who's a King James onlyist. You got Samuel Gipp, who runs a Big Deal KGV. All of those are authors and contributors to the cause of King James onlyism. There's probably, I'm sure there are some more, right? But those are the ones that predominantly come to my mind. And that's just one little circle of truth regarding God's Word, right? Which I believe is the most important truth. God's holy, perfect, inspired, preserved Word, the King James Bible. So those people I just mentioned, they're big players. Let's change subjects. Let's talk about geocentricity, right? I've learned that there's little pockets of truth, and these people specialize in pockets of truth. fernieboy100 was YouTube's most popular geocentrist, and they shut his channel down. And if it hadn't been for his channel, I might have never found out about this issue. If he's got a backup channel, please let me know. You've got Gerard Bow, okay, who's a very knowledgeable geocentrist and has wrote a lot of material. You've got Martin Selbrede. You've got Robert Sungenis, and excellent material. Robert Sungenis and Martin Selbrede, man, God has gifted them with some brilliant minds. Malcolm Bowden has a channel here on YouTube. You got Philip Stott. Philip Stott has, his videos are old, right? I think they were made in the 70s, right? But they're wonderful. You watch them, it's like it blow your mind. This Philip Stott dude, I think he's over in Africa now. I don't know if anybody can get a hold of him. He's got some videos that'll blow your mind on geocentricity. I think Mike Shoesmith just came out today, who's related to P.P. Simmons, and made a geocentric video. I have not had a chance to watch it, but it totally blew my mind that Mike Shoesmith released a geocentric video. You know, he's associated with the P.P. Simmons crowd, so I plan on going and listening to that later on this weekend. Let's go to the birther circle of truth. The birther circle of truth. You got Pastor James David Manning. Nobody's been at this longer and talked about it and brings it up every day. He talks about it on his radio show. You got Peter Boyle. You got Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin, Orly Tates, Carl Gallups, Mickey Booth, Sheriff Joe Arpaio and the Cold Case Posse, along with Mike Zullo, Mary Zabest, Phil Berg. Okay, you got a little circle of truth of specialists that are fighting that issue. That's an important issue, don't you think, about who's commander-in-chief of our military and president of the United States, most powerful man of the free world. Okay, let's go to another circle of truth, 9/11. You got Alex Jones. Alex Jones, probably out front. I would put Richard Gage out there with him. Richard Gage brings up, he's like the technical support. Richard Gage has made some wonderful videos regarding architects and engineers for 9/11 truth. You got to throw Judy Wood in there too. I don't agree with Judy Wood, but I think she should have a voice at the table. Okay, just because I don't agree with somebody, don't mean I want to shut them up. I wouldn't shut down her channel, right? So you got Alex Jones, Richard Gage, Dr. Judy Wood, and there's another guy named Griffin. It's not G. Edward Griffin, but it's another guy. He's done some tremendous material too on 9/11. So there's a little circle of truth for 9/11s. Okay, 9/11 folks. You go to the Federal Reserve. Let's change topics to the Federal Reserve. Okay, Ron Paul, that's his thing, right? Ron Paul won't step out of Federal Reserve and talk about 9/11 or birthers, but Ron Paul will talk about Federal Reserve all day long. Okay, so he gets credit for that, but I'm kind of disappointed in him for not stepping into other circles. You got G. Edward Griffin. G. Edward Griffin wrote the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Most powerful book on the Federal Reserve I've ever seen, heard of, read. Very powerful. You got to put Alex Jones on the Federal Reserve crowd too. Okay, Alex Jones speaks about the Federal Reserve. You got the Rapture, post-tribulation. Let me just read some names off. Ken Hovind, post-tribulationist. Pastor Steve Anderson, post-tribulationist. Gavin Finley, endtimepilgrim.org, post-tribulationist. Richard Perry, got a YouTube channel, wrote some books, post-tribulationist. Robert Gundry, The Church in the Tribulation. He's an author, very good post-tribulationist. Corey ten Boom. She's an outspoken advocate for post-tribulation. Okay, so that's the rapture, folks. You got Serpent Seed. Who speaks out on Serpent Seed? You got Arnold Murray. I know a lot of you guys don't like Arnold Murray, but I believe he's on the money when it comes to Serpent Seed. At least bringing up the topic, because I do think Serpent Seed is biblical. Now you can disagree with me, and it's okay. We disagree, right? I don't think it's an issue of salvation. It's just we just don't agree on that. Okay, Arnold Murray does speak about serpent seed. You got a guy that's dead now, William Branham. William Branham spoke about serpent seed. Zen Garcia wrote a book called Lucifer, Father of Cain. Evolution. Okay, the topic of evolution. Nobody's done more than Ken Hovind. Man, I know that there are a lot of people contributing to the evolution fight. You got the Answers in Genesis crowd. But Ken Hovind, man, he's the king of evolution fighters. Right? I ain't seen anybody fights evolution better than Ken Hovind. You got those who are fighting Islam. They just fight Islam. Now, if you bring up 9/11, they don't want to talk to you. If you bring up the birth, they don't want to talk to you about the birther crowd. But if you want to bring up fighting Islam, they'll talk to you all day long. Who's that? Ann Barnhart. Ann Barnhart. We don't agree on hardly anything because she's a dang Catholic and she loves that Dewey Rain Bible, and she thinks 9/11 are crazy people and racist and backwoods, uneducated rednecks. But Ann Barnhart, I got to give you credit. You do fight Islam pretty dang good. If I was fighting Islam, I'd want you on my team. But anything else, you got to get off the team, man, because you ain't figured out 9/11. But anyway, I do give her credit for fighting Islam. There's some other good people who fight Islam that the names escape me right now, but they wrote some books, and I've got their books, and I can't believe I forgot their name. But anyway, she's not the only one fighting Islam. There are others. Chemtrails. Who's fighting chemtrails? Who's like the outspoken folks? You got Paul Wittenberger. What in the world are they spraying? Why in the world are they spraying? And you got J. Edward Griffin. Okay. There's also that aircrap.org. I don't know who runs that website, but whoever runs that website is doing a great job. And there was a FBI head guy. He was head of the FBI, and he died, and he was very outspoken on what's called death dumps. You guys will remember his name, but his name escapes me at the moment. Okay, you got, I guess the last one, I'm running out of time, is the climate hoax. You got Lord Monckton. Lord Monckton is fighting the climate hoax, fighting out the people like Al Gore, and you got Mike Adams. The picture I'm painting here is that there's little circles of truth, and everybody's fighting in their circle. But there's a few of us that see all the circles. I wouldn't say we see 100% of them. We just see enough of them to, like, Satan's got a lock, man. Satan's got a lock on, like, science. He's lying to us about cosmology. He's lying to us about our president. He's lying to us about the Federal Reserve. He's lying to us about 9/11. Satan's lying, and you got all these people fight, and they think their fight is the most important fight. But I would say they're all important. One of the most important is the King James Bible, because that's God's word. And the second most important, in my opinion, is you got to go with the Federal Reserve and the birther. You got to get Obama out of there, and you got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. But hey, you guys might have different opinions. I'm sure a lot of you guys will think it's chemtrails. I didn't even mention fluoride and vaccinations. But I ran out of time. May God bless and protect the righteous. May He give comfort to those who are speaking the truth, and may He bless those who are speaking the truth, and may He bring divine justice to the wicked. And let's support these people who are fighting and have been lifted up as leaders in these circles of truth. Right? We need to support them. And have a great weekend.